Hey, what's going on, guys? It's No Shoes, and we're back with another one. And today we're going to be reacting to Lovesick from Nujabes featuring Shing02. This is suggested by Alexis, so thank you, Alexis, for the suggestion. Keep them coming in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you guys want to see more videos like this. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. Let's see what Lovesick is all about. Let's see what Nujabes and Shing02 got to say, got on the beat. You know the deal. Let's get it. Yo, the beat is already off to a great start, man. I love the drums, got a really great, like, physical, real instrument sound. That hi-hat's thick, you can really feel the meat on it. That sample that comes in that's like a horn or some type of woodwind. Got a great bounce to it. It's nice. You can kind of feel the sample chop, but it's additive. It really works well, kind of feeling that like boom, and then it drops right back in. Love where this is going.
I told you that story to tell you this one.
This goes out to my G. Love sick like a dog with canine sensitivity. Developing this new theory of relativity. Connecting a soul's resting in captivity. Positive life sacrifice what it is to be our history. Only a quarter of a century reality. Sitting on the shoulders of our chemistry. See, ain't no mystery. The colors that we mix will set the mind free. Let the blind see beyond harmony.
Oh, nice feel. Very clean delivery. Got some nice rhymes coming through. We got some cool layering going on the rhymes, but the vocal is super, super, super thin. It is like hidden inside the instrumental, and it really could use some extra strength, boost the levels a little bit, maybe pull everything else back a little bit. Maybe something to do with the EQs. We got that high sample that's probably occupying a similar space to the vocal, at least frequency wise. So, got a great sound to it, got a great vibe. It's great delivery. The mix could be a little bit better, at least for my ear. I really prefer a strong vocal going over the top of the instrumental, but still a cool track. Let's see where it goes.
A soul's resting in captivity. Positive life sacrifice what it is to be our history. Only a quarter of a century reality. Sitting on the shoulders of our chemistry. See, ain't no mystery. The colors that we mix will set the mind free. Let the blind see beyond harmony. Breathe life in the dead space. Blow away your clouds of doubt. New territory we determine to be. Everything a safe haven is supposed to be. Now it might seem distant, but the time is near. When the thoughts take off, split the atmosphere. Pure sound waves travel semi-infinitely. Plus I see you there up most definitely. Cause a beat plus a melody.
Yeah, and fairly complex rhymes. Coming from a dude that listens to Aesop Rock all the time, that says quite a bit, right? They're not like the craziest rhymes I've ever heard, but like mystery, definitely. I'm not saying those two words rhyme. I'm just saying those are two of the different rhymes we have gotten throughout the schemes he has hit so far. And mystery and definitely kind of do rhyme. They do end on the same sound-ish. You could probably make it work. But yeah, nice, jazzy, soft. It's got a cool vibe to it, man. It's got a cool vibe to it.
Atmosphere, pure sound waves travel semi-infinitely. Plus I see you there up most definitely. Cause a beat plus a melody.
Yeah, like infinitely to definitely. That's really nice. And it's like almost a perfect rhyme, syllable for syllable, which I always find impressive because there are a lot of times where I'll be like freestyling or I'm looking for rhymes. I'm just trying to like write out rhyme chains and whatnot. And there's always that moment you arrive at where you're like, man, why is there not a word that sounds exactly like this word, but it's a different word? And then you realize if it sounded exactly like that word, it would be the same word. You smack yourself on the forehead and just accept that you can't find the perfect of perfect rhymes.
Cause a beat plus a melody makes me speak of L-O-V-E eloquently, so evidently.
I mean that from my heart, cause you make me feel good as a person.
Cause a beat plus a melody makes me speak of L-O-V-E eloquently, so evidently.
I am the best, I rip it up with finesse.
Good gracious, every process has a genesis.
Beautiful. Yeah, nice transition into what I'm gonna call the hook for now. We'll see. Maybe something will come later that really strikes us and maybe that won't repeat. We'll see. But some nice layering on there. It feels like the vocal is getting stronger, or maybe I'm just acclimating to it. Definitely feels like there was some extra layering there though. Love the scratching. We got some implementation of more like atmospheric type sounds, like the clapping at the beginning, some like slight conversational elements here and there. Feels like they're scratching with vocal samples. So that's a really cool element, having it scratch and then having it play itself out. So, really nice construction so far.
Every process has a genesis, it ends with the revelation. God bless this opportunity for me to find a voice for some words that have waited for way too long. No wages, small tips on the avenue, never wasted, all hits for a revenue. Haven't you heard?
And this vocal right here feels so much thicker. I just gotta test something real quick. Normally I don't go far back in videos, but I want to do this with y'all just for a second so we can see if I'm insane or what's actually happening. So we're at 148 right now. We're gonna come back to the beginning. And I want to see if that vocal is noticeably thinner at the beginning or if I've just gotten used to it.
Rest in captivity, positive life, sacrifice what it is to be our history. Only a quarter of a century, reality. Sitting
Okay, so we got that. Now we're gonna come up to 148. Let's drop back in.
the news lately. Seems we've been living for some times in a purgatory. But yo, I thought I knew what a love song sound like. But I felt a warmer tune in the sunlight. I can still hear it in my room past midnight. Gotta move, take us all a cruise in the moonlight. Sometimes I do forget, oh, how much we could ease lives we lead if we learn to let go. The reins that we hold, return to our soul and the spirit that flows. So you see upon
Beautiful. I love that saxophone. That is gorgeous, giving us a little bit of like a counter melody up in the top. Love the feel of it. It is just me getting acclimated to it, I think, as you probably realized when we popped back to this section as well. You know, the vocals, the same loudness at both, but once you get into the middle of the track, your ear acclimates, you get used to it, the vocal starts to feel a little bit more present, and you kind of know what you're looking for, which is always an interesting thing for those of you out there listening who make music or do audio stuff yourself. Sometimes there's that bias of you know what is there, so you know what you're listening for, and then when you show it to someone else, they're like, oh man, this, that, and the other thing. It's like, ah, dude, like I couldn't even hear that until you said it. But yeah, really cool feel. It does, especially having the saxophone, make it a little hard to keep track of the vocal because it's just within everything. So then the rest of the layers become a little bit more distracting and they kind of detract is a strong word, but there's not a better word for it. It does detract a little bit from the lyrics of the vocal.
we hold, return to our soul and the spirit that flows. So you see upon everyday face, there's a million shades to express definition of grace. But the method I choose, my prerogative. There's so much love in me I got to give. Cause the beat plus a melody.
Prerogative, I got to give. That's a great rhyme right there. Again, breaking apart those syllables, getting that down. That's really cool.
I got to give, cause the beat plus a melody makes me speak of L-O-V-E eloquently, so evidently.
I mean that from my heart, cause you make me feel good as a person.
Cause the beat plus a melody makes me speak of L-O-V-E eloquently, so evidently.
I hope that you listen.
Oh, how I can write a book on how you make me feel, but
Really smooth transition. So we discovered that what I thought was the hook earlier is the hook. It came back. Nice repetition. Works well. The transitions in and out of the hook, super smooth. They're kind of innocuous. Like you don't even really realize it's happening. And then the scratching and the extra elements that they add outside of the vocal really kind of are what signal to me that we're in the hook. Great changes. Nice. It's precise. It's percussive. There's still like a softness that kind of overlays everything, almost like a. Imagine if you had like an Instagram filter that made everything kind of like warmer colors. Like that's kind of the feeling I'm getting here. We took this song from being like this song could have been like kind of cold and blue, but it's a little bit more like yellow and orange in the shade. If for all the people with synesthesia out there in the back.
That's your list.
Oh, how I could write a book on how you make me feel. But how about the song that I wrote for you? What I feel like, I wanna put my trust in these simple words for you to feel what I'm saying, what you feel like. Reminisce about the little episodes that we shared together. Remember the time that you told me in the cold night to relax when all I knew was to hold tight. Remember the time that I spoke to a crowd in a full house with.
Yeah, and it feels like there's definitely some type of love story going on here. There's a method of thinking about music where essentially there's love songs and there's pirate songs. So let's say if this is a love song, then NWA would be making pirate songs. Gangster rap would definitely be the pirate song version of rap. There's a bunch of other different areas that we could categorize into those two. But it seems like that might be a common theme with Nujabes, or maybe just the songs that people like from them. The last one I checked out was Lady Brown featuring Size Star. Really cool track. Honestly, can't remember it all that well, but I'm sure I liked it. And there's a video somewhere online if you want to go refresh your memory of what I thought of it. But yeah, I love it. Lo-fi, nice vibes, man. The artwork is really tasteful. I love the watercolors. Let's keep it going.
The cold night to relax when all I knew was to hold tight. Remember the time that I spoke to a crowd in a full house. Realized that you was my ace. I was the joker on the stage singing the blues. All eyes on me and had nothing to prove. But yo, I thought I knew what.
Okay. I think that's a Tupac reference. All eyes on me, correct? If I'm not, you can yell at me in the comments down below.
All eyes on me and had nothing to prove. But yo, I thought I knew what a diamond shine like. But I felt a sharper love in the limelight from the Queen of Hearts, watching me quietly from the upper deck balcony. Sometimes I do suspect I'm an actor in a well-scripted, large divine comedy. When I look back, that frozen slice of time, it tried to defrost the senses lost. Now enough with the metaphors, the motivation that I wrote this letter for.
It's interesting. As someone who listens to a lot of rap where breaking the bar line is a super common practice, there are certain parts of this flow where while they feel very smooth and everything, that the spaces that are left between them throw me off just a little bit. Like, it's nice to have the spaces, they work well. I'm not saying that the flow sounds whack or anything like that, but in these places where I'm used to someone pushing through and really driving forward, often on this track, they're taking a breath. And it's a cool dichotomy. You gotta have both sides of the coin, right? This is much more paced out, a lot more spread out. They're not trying to murder this song. They're not trying to run it down from the top, go crazy, like just relaxed, having a good time, telling a little bit of a story, giving us some fun rhymes. I'm not mad at it, man. A very chill track. This would be something great to like put on in the background, especially.
That I wrote this letter for you to know that the music helps carry on. Like you see, a new day will bring us tomorrow. Yo, 'cause my beat touch your melody.
You see that? The way they scratch the saxophone is just dirty, dude. That is absolutely filthy. I love it. Because in the scratches, you can hear the tone of the instrument popping out. But like just enough. Just a tiny bit. Wow. That is beautiful.
'Cause my beat touch your melody makes me speak of L-O-V-E eloquently, so evidently. melody makes me speak of L-O-V-E eloquently, so evidently.
Okay. I don't know what happened here at the end with the vocal. We come back to the hook, but now it's thin. All the layers of it have been dropped out. Maybe that's their way of changing the hook into an outro. It's like buried in the beat. It's feels way more quiet than even the verse. And yeah, and then it's panned to my left ear, which is also just it's a strange choice. It doesn't I can't say it makes sense to me. Maybe it makes sense to you. Maybe it made sense to them. I don't know. It seems odd to pan a vocal that hard to the left, have it that quiet at the end of the track and have it be the same vocal as the hook. It just like I just can't really understand the rationale behind that myself.
Cause my beat plus your melody makes me speak of L-O-V-E eloquently, so evidently.
I mean that from my heart, cause you make me
It feels like, and then we come back in and we get it like it was before. So it like resolves itself. But then it kind of begs the question like, what happened to the right side of the audio for the first half of this little outro hook section right here? Like, where did it go? Did y'all lose it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, not trying to be a dickhead about it, but like a big thing in art, in my opinion, is make it sound like it's on purpose. And to me, this does not sound on purpose right here at the end. Let's see. I want to hear this, and we'll go all the way through to the end from here.
So evidently. Cause my beat plus your melody.
It was a little further back, even, I think. Maybe like right there.
Yo, cause my beat plus your melody makes me speak of L-O-V-E eloquently, so evidently. Yeah, cause your beat plus my melody makes me speak of L-O-V-E eloquently, so evidently. Cause my beat plus your melody makes me speak of L-O-V-E eloquently, so evidently.
I mean that from my heart, cause you make me feel good as a person.
Cause your beat plus my melody makes me speak of L-O-V-E eloquently, so evidently.
I mean that from my heart, cause you make me feel good as a person.
Wild. Interesting. I hadn't actually fully caught what that sample was saying. But really cool track, the clapping and everything at the end, really fun choice. But yeah, this last little hook section here, like I hate to say it, I just don't get why they did it that way, cuz I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to add some type of intrigue at the end of the track to something that has repeated twice already. Logical. It makes sense that you want to add to it. But what we discover, one, is that the way they have this hook mixed is one layer is mixed to the left, or one layer is panned to the left, one layer is panned to the right, and then together they create the illusion of being center in stereo. But now we have just the left one playing. Why would we not put that center just for those first two and then have it come back to the left so that way when the one on the right joins in, then it's in balance? Like, again, this is something I've been talking about a lot recently because I've been in like a mixing class and all we've been doing for like almost 16 weeks now is mixing. And there's just parts of music that we're so accustomed to as people that are psychoacoustic. They're parts that happen inside our head, parts that have to do with just the way that sound travels in the real world. And that's a lot of the time why the vocal's in the middle. Because where does the lead singer, where does the rapper, where does the main, the front man, whoever it is, where do they stand? In the middle of the stage. But regardless, that was Lovesick from Nujabes featuring Shing02. I don't want to overstate my feelings at the end here. This is a really cool track. It's got a great vibe. The lyrics are fun. I wish I could hear them a little bit better, but the instrumental is fire. I love the production. The samples they used are I was going to say juicy, golden, whatever word you want to describe them with. But yeah, this is a cool track. This is a cool track. I just, we here to analyze. We're here to think about it. But regardless, thank you again to Alexis for the suggestion. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that bell if you want to see more videos like this. Keep the suggestions coming in the comments down below. And I will see you all next time. Much love.